Hey guys, 3D Printed Life here with yet another update. Woohoo! Yeah, right? Okay, so good, bad, and randomness is all to come in the coming minutes. Good, this gantry thing is amazing. I've noticed that prints with it are 1.5 billion times better. There's no way in hell that this is gonna focus, but this is printed at 0.2mm layer resolution, just to give you a frame of reference. And the layers are perfectly stacked, they're barely visible. And this was using this come on, there we go. This was using this coupling still, which still does have a little bit of wobble. I'm thinking of making a little apparatus up here with a bearing that will hold this top steady, so that the rod will be almost perfectly straight all the time, and there will be zero Z wobble. But this was pretty amazing, I must admit. I mean, 0.2mm layer resolution, and you can see the layers, but you can clearly see that they are all lined up perfectly. If I can get it to focus. Well, you get the point, I think. Yeah, so great quality, amazingness. Now the bad. Don't know exactly what happened. Yesterday I set it up to print. I left because I trusted at this point. It's I've done so many like 5-hour plus prints that I figured a 2-hour print would be nothing. I come back, this whole carriage fell off. It popped off the two bearings and the belt and was laying down on the half-completed print, melted into it. The hot end just kind of melted through. It melted into the bed a little, so there is a little patch under the tape where the melamine is missing. And the filament popped off of this drive gear. Now, I have no clue how in the hell that happens. Because these bearings, they just clip in right here, but they clip in pretty strong. And the only way to take it off is by pivoting it up and then pulling it down. You can't pull it from the top here because of how this clip is shaped. So it supports that. My only two theories are that this filament somehow got caught, so the drive gear started to inch its way up this, which pivoted it up, which caused it to pop off, and which caused it to pop off this gear somehow, and then it fell or something? Maybe? Or, I did take this off before just to do some measurements because I'm building my own extruder, which I'll get to in a minute. And when I put it back on, I didn't take note of where these belt tensioners were. So it is possible that they could have hit the end and caused it to jam, and also somehow, actually that could have been it, because it could have pulled it off of the bearings, because I noticed this bearing holder was a little cracked at the end. It could have forced the tray to keep going. How would that pull it off the bearings? Not too sure. You know, I really don't know what happened. It's just a big mystery. But it hasn't happened since, and I'm going to hope it never happens again. As you can see, no more scotch tape on the fan bracket. I finally decided to be smart, and I just put a tiny little drop of super glue here and here, so that holds it in place nicely, and it looks a hell of a lot better. Other than that, aesthetically, it is all the same at the moment. Still have to find a workaround for this. I'm still wanting to print this in black. Once I do those two things, and this in black, probably with a filament guide, I will essentially be done upgrading the printer, and also this thing, and the extruder. Holy crap, there's a lot to do. But yeah, so I'm getting close to being done with printing upgrades for it. In the meantime though, in between the upgrades, I did print this. It's a nice little bearing gear, and it spins so freely, it's not even funny. And it doesn't have that much, like the center shaft doesn't have really any wobble, and yet it spins so freely, like a bearing should. I was shocked at how well this came out. The top doesn't look as pretty, but the black PLA doesn't really come out too well on flat surfaces just because of the way it layers, and it's shiny, so it looks kind of like faded and stuff. But you know, nonetheless, amazing, whoa, amazing print. The edges are pretty good. There was one layer that was a little bit off, but I just kind of scraped that off with a knife so you can't see it anymore. Again, 0.2mm layer height. You can see some very slight Z banding or ribbing. I really don't know the difference between the two. I'm pretty sure they're the same anyway. But again, like I said, I'm thinking of, you know, I might even do a 3D printed bearing up top here, different than this, of course. That just kind of pops on, and then it will attach to this base without making any new screw holes. And it'll just hold this rod steady so that it makes nicer prints and all. Now on to the computer side of things. Here I have the start of a extruder for the 1 and 2 up that I'm making. Reason for this being a built-in fan mount, not done yet. It will be going around this screw hole out, and it will become protruding out this way so you can mount the fan sideways. Better hot end securing, it's going to be in here. There's also going to be 2 pegs and holes here to interlock the 2 sides nicely, and the screw holes are close and they're lined up with the groove, so it should help hold it down nice. There's also a filament guide going in and coming out of where the this is the hobbed bolt here, and this is the bearing. I'm going to keep the same sort of tensioner design that the current extruder uses. It's going to be just kind of a basic arm, and then the screw's going to come through here, go through a nut somewhere around here, and, you know, the spring on top, whatever. The same as before, nothing crazy. Although now I think I've come up with another idea. But, you know, that's for version 2. So, yeah, hopefully the goals of this extruder... Oh, another thing is it has the filament going in from the left-hand side. Now this is going to be symmetric, so you can mount it going either way, but the purpose is so that I can get a little bit more build room. Because with this gantry, because of the way it's made, how the rods are going into the plastic, you lose a little bit on this side, but you gain a bit on this side. So the current setup has... Wait, I could just flip this around. Well, screw it, I'm making my own anyway. It has it going in on this side, which means the hot end is slightly offset to the right of where the stepper motor is mounted, as you can see. Which means the hot end is more to the right, which means I can't use the full extent of the travel this way, but I hit the end over here before I get to the end of the bed. So shifting it over, it's going to give me about 12 more millimeters of principal build space, which is awesome. Can always do with more build space. And... well, yeah, that's the main point. Although now that I realize that I could just simply flip this piece around, I feel kind of stupid. But, you know, what you gonna do? It's still gonna look cooler, and it's gonna be easier to load, because hopefully this guide here will just guide it straight into the hobbed bolt and the bearing, and then hopefully this channel will pick it up afterwards and just send it right into the hot end. I'm not too sure how this will work because it isn't too long, and it's only a bit wider, so you might have to like kind of manually straighten out the filament before loading it in, but hopefully that should make things a whole lot easier. That's pretty much it for this time, so keep an eye out for the next update. I probably won't do one tomorrow, which means you can expect to see it on Monday. Tomorrow I will be doing some kind of video tutorial. Still haven't decided on what yet. I might be doing it on blanking here, blanking, still blanking. I don't know. But check tomorrow if you would like to see another kind of tutorial-ish video. It's going to be a surprise. It'll be a mystery for all you guys. So, if you have any suggestions, post them down below, because I will happily take a suggestion. Because I had a few ideas, but I am completely blanking now. So, suggestions for a tutorial or a guide video, such as if you want to see how to install the custom firmware, that was one of them. And if you want to get all of the STL files for the stuff I've downloaded, that's another one. Or all the stuff the upgrades I've made. That could be another choice, or your own choice. You know, that's it. I'm going to stop rambling. So I will see you all next time.